Hey there, welcome to Rahulsdotnet. In today's video, we are going to learn global exception handling in .NET 7. So there are several ways to handle exception in .NET. The first one is try catch block. The second one is built-in middleware, that is use exception handler middleware. The third one is custom middleware. So here we can create our own middleware and we can register into the application request pipeline. And the last one is the exception filter. So in today's video, we are going to deep dive into the custom middleware. So if our application is not handling the error, so whenever any error occurred in application, so basically it will throw this kind of error detail page. So here we can see this page contains code where this error is executed, and it's not a good practice to like show this page to the end user, because sometimes it may have some confidential information in the code, as well as it's not providing any meaningful information to the user, like why this error is occurred. So to prevent these things, we use the exception handling in our application so that we can provide a meaningful information. What is the advantage of global error handling? So first one is the improve user experience with user friendly error message. So we can provide the user friendly error message to the user. The next one is enhance security by preventing sensitive data. So in the last slides we saw, if any error is occurred, so there might be like some chances are there that it can show some sensitive information to the end user. Okay, so that we should avoid. One is the reduce code duplication. So if you are handling error in our application using the try catch block, so there are chances, there are multiple time try catch block will be available in our application, so that we can reduce if we are using the global error handling mechanism. The next one is the centralized logging. So as we are creating the global error handling, so the logic will be centralized. And last but not least, easy to debug and maintain. So whenever we'll create any error like a detail page, so let's say like any error occurred and I want to provide those error detail to the end user. So normally peoples are creating their own error detail model, but that is not a like good practice. So Microsoft has provided a problem detail class. So problem detail class is like followed the REST API standards. So it contains the like several parameter like type, title, status, detail, and instance. So type will contains URI reference to identify the problem type. Then title will be the short human readable programs problem summary. Status will be the HTTP status code, and detail like why this error happened, and the instance like where this error occurred. Okay. So this is the good practice for using the problem details if our API is consumed by the multiple clients across the globe, so that if we follow this standard, so everyone can understand the error easily. Now let's move to the code. In the code first, we'll so here we can see, so this is the web API application, and I have created in the .NET 7.0. Okay, so to handle the exception, what we'll do, I have created one middleware folder. So now I will try to add one class. So I will give this class as a global exception handler middleware. And this class will implement iMiddleware interface. I will implement iMiddleware interface, and I will try to implement the method provided by this middleware. This middleware is providing invoke async that contains the two parameter. One is the HTTP context and other one is the request delegate. Okay, and here we'll just write the try catch block, and in the try block we will write next and context. So generally it will call the next middleware here, and will and await. So so whenever any error occurred while executing this middleware, so this in the catch block we can handle those exception. Okay, so here we can write the exception handling logic for that. Okay, so now I will try to create one problem detail object. Problem detail equal to new problem, and it will contain basically some of the property like type is the type. So this is not a mandatory field, but basically this one will provide like which kind of error is occurred, and here we need to provide some of the URI. So a URI reference that identify the problem type. Okay. So here for 500 exception, I have added this. If we'll try to debug this, so let like here we can see if we'll provide that URL. So if any user is getting and to go into the detail like what is the mean of this error, so with the help of that URI they can go there and they can here you can see like 6.6.1. So this is referring to the internal server error, and about the internal server error it will have some detail comment for that. Okay, but this is not a mandatory field like mandatory property, so we can like give or ignore, but as a good practice we can provide if you know the URL for that. And then we need to provide the title. Title will be internal server error. We need to provide the detail. And occurred while processing request. Then application tracking ID is, can provide some application tracking ID for here. So let create app track ID, and it will be basically a GUID. And provide the status. We can provide the internal server error. So HTTP status code dot internal server error. And last we can provide the instance. So where basically this error occurred. So instance is equal to give the path request dot path. Okay. So detail instance is ready. Now we'll try to write this on the response. So here await context dot response write as JSON. Here we can till this we have created like we have just written the try catch block, and inside the try we are calling the next middleware, and in the catch if any exception will occur in this like while executing this middleware, so it will come here and we will like we are creating the problem detail and we are sending to the end user. Okay, now So this will be basically for sending this detail to the end user, but as we need to provide like maintain some logs also, so that if any error is occurred and the user is providing this tracking details, so we can track why this error occurred. Okay, so I'm using creating the iLogger. So now we have injected that logger and we'll try to log this detail. Logger dot log error. We can see error occurred. Trace will be exe dot stack trace message exe dot message and application tracking ID will app track ID. Okay, so this one we have created the step 1 for creating middleware. Now we have to do two more steps. The second step will be adding that middleware into the DI container. So here we'll builder dot service dot transient and middleware I will add here. Sorry, this middleware I add into this DI container. So this will be step 2. The step 3 will be adding that middleware into the application request pipeline. So add dot use middleware and here we'll provide. Okay, now we're done with creating the new middleware, as well as we also wrote the logic to handle the exception. Okay, so now we'll try to run this application. Yeah, so here we can see so we are getting the problem error details. uh, so here type we have what we have specified, title, status will, and detail will be an error occurred while processing the request, and application tracking ID. So this detail basically with this tracking ID we are logging in our application as well. So whenever the user is found any like error on their page or they're facing this, so if they have this one, so they can directly give this tracking ID to us, and based on this tracking ID we can investigate like what the error occurred and how we can resolve that one. And this is the last one is the instance. So the instance like where this error is occurred. So currently this we are executing this API employee and 5 endpoint, so this one is providing this. But here one problem we can see, the code status code still it's giving as a 200. Okay, so we need to override the status code of this response as well. Okay, so once we'll go to the code and we'll go to the global exception handler middleware, and here we'll write the on dot response dot code is equal to http status code dot internal server. Okay, and from here also remove all this try and required, and it can be handled in a globally. These all we can get rid of the application. Okay, now I will try to run. So now here we can see the code status code also it's got changed to the 500, as well as we are getting the res error detail response here. So thanks for watching this video. I will add this commit ID, this code on the GitHub, and provide the commit ID detail on in the description section, as well as problem details link, so that you if you want you can refer that. If you are new to this channel, so please subscribe, and if you like this video, so click on the like button. Thanks for watching.